All right, so today we're going to talk about 3.5 transformations of functions. And ultimately, the goal of today is to be able to explain how functions are shifting horizontally, left and right, vertically, up and down, and also with vertical and horizontal reflections. All right, so let's look at this one here. First thing I want you to do is take your pen or pencil, and we're going to actually graph f of x equals x squared. This one right here. That's called a parent function. What type of function is x squared? Quadratic, very good. So it starts at 0, 0, 1, 1, not 2, 2, not 3, 3. We just did 1, 1, 2, 4. How'd you get 2, 4, Lily?
Because you gotta plug in the x to get the y.
And 2 squared is 4. What if I go into the negative values for x?
-1,
Very good.
-2, 4.
Very good. Because when you square something, it becomes positive. So if you make this is what we call the parent function. Thanks.
So this is it 0, 4?
It's not 0, 4. It's 2, 4 and negative 2, 4. Now, do you see mine is in blue? Yours is not. All right, you didn't pay the premium price. So mine in blue, all right, mine in blue, it has been shifted. How has it been moved? Right, how many units? 2 units. So if you take a look here, this g of x equals f of x minus 2 means that g of x can be written as x minus 2 squared. So I want you to see, and this is important because it's going to be on the answer ticket, that when we move left and right, where does that number go? Inside the parentheses. All right, see how the minus 2 is inside the parentheses? That means it's a shift left or right. Now, subtraction inside, I want you to think opposite. What's the opposite of negative 2? Positive 2, so that's why they went 2 to the right. So what if this was 2 to the left over here? Then it would be x plus 2. All right, so inside the parentheses, you need to think opposite. Questions on the g of x, the blue one? No? Okay. Now h of x, I'm going to make that one purple. All right, so here's h of x. Now h of x says to take g of x, so my blue one, and do what to it? Add 3 units. Do you see how that's not inside the parentheses? That means I'm going to move 3 units up and make my parabola.
So if it's outside, it's up or down?
Very good. And if it's inside parentheses, it's left or right. So my answer for h of x is going to be x minus 2 squared, right? I still have that, but now what comes after it? Plus 3. Because we moved g of x 3 units up. All right, so let me see if your brain can do this. Are you ready? Yes, are we ready? No? Let's see if your brain can do this. Let's write it larger. Okay, go back to my one here, my original parent function. All right, this is just x squared. When you see this minus 2, what were we thinking? 2 to the right. And this plus 3, we thought 3 to the up. Okay? So now, watch. 2 right, 3 up. There it is. Okay? Yes?
Usually the exponent is distributed. So why doesn't it?
So you're asking like what you think we should.
2 squared is 4.
Yes, but x minus 2 is being squared, which means you'd have to expand the whole thing. If you want to do a quick aside, do you know what form this is written in? Do you know what kind of form this is? No. Well, it's actually, I taught all of you this. It's not standard. What's the other one that we learned about when algebra 2? A V.
Vertical.
No. No. Vertex form. All right, because the vertex, watch this. Where's the vertex? At 2, 3. There's the vertex. 2, 3. That's what we learned in algebra 2. Standard form, do you know, if you really wanted to go down this road, you would have to do, come on now. You would have to do, what is it, x minus 2 squared plus 3. You have to expand that x minus 2 times x minus 2, which would be x squared minus 4x plus 4. Then you bring down the plus 3, so x squared minus 4x plus 7. This is called standard form. It depends. With standard form, this is where we use, remember that form that x equals the opposite of b over 2a? That was called the axis of symmetry. Then you would take that number, plug it into your function to find your vertex, and the y-intercept is 0c. Yeah, it's called algebra. Or my favorite owl. Yeah. This owl went through some battle and lost its right eye, or left eye. It's okay. It was saving its friend. Okay. Any questions about example 1? Everybody good? What? Oh, that's not needed for this. Okay. Example 2. Let's see how your brain does with this. What kind of function is this? The absolute value. Very good. It's called the absolute value function. All right. Now, the absolute value function is a V. All right, it is a V. Its vertex is at 0, 0, the origin. And you have 2 lines, one with a slope of positive 1, and the other with a slope of negative 1. So here's your negative 1 slope. There's your positive 1 slope. So take a look at my red one. It says plus 1 inside the absolute value. So how is it going to move? 1 unit to the left. This is 1 unit left. And look what happened to the dotted one in red. It went 1 unit to the left. Now, what about my green one? We have 1 left, and what about down 3, right? So we went 1 left, down 3. Remember, the form of these is always x minus the horizontal shift. So if you were to plug in, what's moving to the left 3? What's moving to the left 3? What number would I plug in for h? No, if I move to the left, think of a number line. If I move to the left 3 units, what would I write down? Negative 3. What was that? Negative 3. And what happens when you subtract a negative? It becomes positive. I wrote 3, I'm sorry. I should have written 1. My bad, sorry. That's why I always think opposite.
Can I get Lexi for the blood drive?
Absolutely. Did we see that? Yeah. Did we see the why we have to think opposite? Why don't you? Yeah, just in case. Okay, here's what you're going to try. All right, so this is where I want you to stay at your seat. You've got a whole blank page where I want you to write down how this is going to move. All right, so we have f of x equals the absolute value of x. What's happening inside the parentheses? It's moving what? It's like this, which is 2 to the right. And then it has plus 4, which is
right.
Nope. We already went 2 right. It's 4 up. All right, so on your graph, you should have this right here would be the parent function. Yep, starts from the origin. And then how are we moving it?
Move it to the right and more up.
Right, you do that.